Here at Diesel Freak, located in Gaylord, Michigan, just an hour south of Mackinac Bridge, we offer the parts, turbos, manifolds, injectors, fleet service, down to your owner-operator. We have customers with race applications. We have a dyno for diagnostics. What we like to do along with our own apparel is make apparel for others as well. Hats, t-shirts, decals, vehicle graphics, from mild to wild for your truck here at Diesel Freak.
Hey guys, how are you?
Pretty good.
Thank you.
Go ahead and introduce yourselves, starting with our gentleman on the right.
My name's Mike Dusing. This is my son Diesel, my other son Leroy.
And I'm Kate Dusing, his wife.
So I'm going to start right away by saying I ran into you guys here at the 75 Chrome Shop. I've seen you a couple different times, and through casual conversation, I realized that maybe we should talk on camera. What do you think the number one thing people would want to know about your family would be, starting with yourself?
Our family, it's a very tight-knit bond with trucking and the lifestyle of it. I'm fourth generation of my family, and it's been a kind of a love affair since I was a little kid. And it's just an enjoyable thing to be out here, to see the world, to be able to help people in the process, learn new things, and give my kids an experience that not many other children get a chance to do.
Fourth generation, you say?
Yes, sir.
Well, take us back. Take us back to the beginning.
My grandfather started out back in the early, I'd say 1930s, 1940s with driving. And I know it was in our family history from earlier than his. And then it kind of become a love affair with my father and his brother and followed into me. And I've grown up in it since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. And it's just been a great thing to carry on the family tradition in the name of trucking.
Why do you think trucking is so important in your family to where you're the fourth generation?
I think it was a lifestyle that was taught that we were growing up in, a hard, honest living. You get a chance to meet some really interesting people and have some good conversations and maybe uplift people in the process and help them, mentor them into what they want to grow up into be truckers and maybe start their new career in it. My grandfather strived to haul grain and provide for his family because it was a better way of life than a factory back then. And when he had passed away, my father had taken it over as well as my uncle, and I got into it myself and just started on our own family journey as well with it for me, my wife, and kids, so someday they may be able to take over and grow a company as well, if they choose to.
Now, Kate, is your family background deeply rooted within trucking as well?
I have a grandfather that I never knew because he passed away driving truck. But other than that, nope. Teachers, accountants. But I've known Mike since we were kids, and between him and I've always loved him and his family. I used to make my mom drive me out to the farm when we were only 12 years old so I could go up there and help detail trucks and milk cows, and so not really, just fell in love with it.
So where was that you grew up?
I grew up in town in Sterling.
Sterling where?
Illinois.
Sterling, Illinois. And where did you grow up?
Kalita, Illinois.
Okay. Could you even begin to try to get away from trucks if you wanted to?
I tried. It lasted a year, and I had to get back in it. There was nothing that just would satisfy. I've done restoration, fabrication, and there's just something about being on the road almost as a calling to be out here. And it's not just about moving freight, it's more so of the freedom that you have being out here, the passion to keep driving, to gain more ground, always raising the bar on your equipment, trying to supersede what you have done with your last vehicle.
How long have you all been trucking for?
Me and her have been together for 13 years, and when we met back, me and her have been trucking together for 13 of them. She became dispatcher, coordinator. She is 100% my navigation. I'm just the guy behind the wheel. And she drives our company. She works hard at it, and she does a really good job of it. Without her, we couldn't make her run. So she's the main one.
I see you shaking your head over there. Why are you shaking your head?
I learned a lot of what I do from him. So my dad had taught me to read maps and all that, but when you're trying to navigate for somebody who's up in Chicago and you're 200 miles away, that's why I was shaking my head. He's taught me more than he knows.
You know, Mike, Kate, explain where home is for the people that are watching this.
Home base is Colita, Illinois. Company's based out of Fulton, Illinois. But our actual home is in the truck. We spend more time on the road than we do back home. It's easier just to come back and stay with our family and spend time with them, and then we're back off on the road in a couple days.
It's where we're comfortable.
It's where we're comfortable. It's more at peace. We're a very close family, and there's, believe it or not, anxiety when we're not in the truck. We spent so many years trucking that it's become our lifestyle.
Explain the typical day of living in the truck, working in the truck, having the kids ride along with you.
Oh, the kids love riding. She homeschools them every day, and they learn a lot. They also get to do hands-on school too, with geography, mathematics and trucking with mileage, and we're trying to teach them in that way. And when they see something that really interests them, we go with it, and they learn that way. And they're very quite intelligent with mechanics as well.
And being in the truck, they've got to see things like sandhill crane migration in Kearney, Nebraska, and I mean,
walk the ocean.
Yeah, go to the ocean in Brunswick, Georgia, but there's things that you can't go see. You can't park your truck up at Mount Rushmore. You know, they say see the world. You can see it, but you can't do all the fun vacation stuff all the time.
You know, paint us a picture of what it's like for you guys.
I'll let that one to you, dear.
Well, it depends on our schedules too with running. I mean, the kids will usually stay up until we stop for the night, and they sleep have the top bunk, and I mean, they've got their TV and all that up there. Down here, I grill out for supper. We do a lot of outside stuff, but I mean, pretty much, you know, it's a routine. You know, at night, have supper, pull the bed out, because our bed's a couch futon, and in the morning we're usually up before the kids, have our little coffee routine, and same thing, pick everything up, vacuuming. It's just a lifestyle. It becomes
She'll make
very
pancakes
routine.
and sausage in the griddle and that for breakfast for the kids, and we'll normally just coffee and orange juice and granola bar and hit the road, depending on what time you got to unload. Especially pulling reefer now. We used to do flatbed. Your schedules are so unpredictable that nothing is set in stone. So sometimes it's chaotic, but you adjust, you make do.
And during the day while you're driving, that's when the kids can get on their phones and do schoolwork and look stuff up. And if there's some highlight while we're going down the road, I know we've passed Air Force bases. You know, of course, it's drop everything, gotta look out a window. But pretty much during the day while he's driving, if I need to navigate, I navigate, but the kids will be learning. And when we get a chance, we meet up with other couples that have kids, and they get to have play dates.
It sounds like any other family that they're in the Winnebago and they're going across country and they're hitting the KOAs and everything else.
Yeah.
That is pretty much about the description of it.
We do get a break and go stay in a hotel sometimes, and
Just to get out of the truck and let the kids go swimming and play in pools and that. And sometimes they get fidgety. They
Like
got
right now?
to stop and get out of the truck because, brotherly love. So some days can get stressful, but I love my kids. I love my family with me, and I'm blessed to have the ability to have that. It makes life on the road a lot easier, less stressful on my end. Some are not the same. They'd rather be a million miles away from their wife. But I love my family very much.
and we've talked to a lot of people that wonder, fighting and all that. We don't. There's a no drama policy, even with the kids. I mean, every fight's resolved as quickly as we can.
They're not really fights, it's more
those two,
debates.
yes. But I'm saying the boys, disagreements over a toy or whatnot. We negotiate a lot with them.
Yeah.
How long are the runs before you go back to home base and then you head back out again?
We honestly stay out a couple months at a time. If rates start to go down and things get slow, then we'll just take time and we'll go home, spend a couple days with family. If the weather's bad, then we just come down here and go somewhere and do something with the kids, give them a treat. But mainly we're out a couple months at a time.
Well, and that being said, though, we couldn't do this without our families. Our families work together back home, my parents and his parents, to make sure our mail's taken care of, keep in touch with us when we have to go back for a doctor's appointment. I mean, without them and our close friends, we've got close friends down here that make it possible. If there's a family emergency, we can get to an emergency room, or we've even got offers to watch the kids, so if we want a night out, we haven't taken them up on it, but good friends and close family makes it work.
Yes.
It seems like this could be a place where you can become kind of cozy as far as having a secondary place to light down. So what do you guys like about coming here as opposed to any other place that you can be at?
Well, I could say it's a safe place where you can keep your hood on your truck.
One of the first things I noticed down here when he brought me down here was the staff. You would think that they all own a part of the business with how they treat you when you're here.
Everybody's very
everybody.
respectful. It's a wonderful place.
It's a family.
It's just a really great environment. It's peaceful. There's a lot of good owner-operators that come down here. Nice people to surround yourself by.
And we've got the girl who owns Island Things that she's always there for. We've had 2 birthdays down here where she's made cakes. You pay for it, but she's made them. And she's always right there, food-wise. It's great to get to know somebody like that. But yeah, definitely the staff, the environment.
And it's the only place to get your vinyl work done,
Yeah,
too.
the only place to get your vinyl.
There's like 5 of us that we all try to meet up down here
Same weekend.
and just have a good time together and relax. And I can't really say forget about trucking, but it's just good to socialize with them. We grill out and have a few drinks, and normally we set up a canopy with a movie screen and a projector, and we'll just hang out as friends and watch a movie. And you can actually do that here and not have to worry about somebody ruining it.
And there's a lot of truck stops that here you can do it, but there's truck stops that won't allow you to grill out, won't allow you to move around. The kids can get their basketball out here and play and be safe.
Do you think there's anything that has kind of been passed down? It could be knowledge, experience.
I do believe the morals of old school country values have been one of our strong points that have been passed down. Mainly, you treat people the way that you want to be treated. You do everything you can to the best of your ability, and you be honest. You know, that's been one of the things. The knowledge of mechanical, being there with my grandfather and my dad and even my uncle as I was growing up, taught me a lot of things, as well as my grandfather's drivers did as well. So you learn the knowledge of not only driving, but to work on them, how to do customer service, how to figure out what your customer needs and expects out of you and fulfill that as a contract carrier. It speaks loudly to your customers when you give them their one-on-one attention, and you treat them that they're important, which they are, because they're paying your meals. They're paying for everything. And that's been one of our prides, is we run on class and integrity. We keep our equipment very clean, and that's been one of our strong points. We all are about safety. Safety is one of our main goals, as well as our equipment looking right and nice, and we try to help our customers and accommodate them in any way that we physically can, and if we can't, recommend them to someone with the same caliber that can do so as well.
The wives of truckers might be watching this and go, how in the world does she does it, living with 3 other boys? You know, how do you do it? You know, what do you say to put the other ladies at ease?
It's a lifestyle, you know. I mean,
Be honest, some days you'd rather throw us out the door.
Yeah, there's some days that I'd rather kick them out of the truck and just have girl time. But just being discreet. I mean, in today's day and age, you know, you've got all the truck stops. A lot of them have showers and stuff, so they can go in one, I can go in another. But I mean, dealing with these guys isn't much of an issue. But sometimes, other drivers, well, you walk across a lot, they don't realize that you're married. But I mean, it just, like he said, being open, honest. I'll make it clear to somebody that, there's my truck, there's my husband and boys, you want to go meet them? I don't know about putting them at ease. I've met a lot of people's husbands out here that I got to tell the ladies they have nothing to worry about. Their husbands are very respectful and actually show off pictures of their wives on their phones. But I mean, it's a lifestyle. It's not everyone's cut out for it, but I've got him with me all the time, so.
Would you rather the lifestyle you have now, being with
or
your
being
husband,
at
Mike, all
home?
the time, or being at home?
I prefer this. We tried the at home thing at one point, and like I said, I'd be trying to navigate from home when I'm 200 miles away, and it just was always better when we were together. We tried it. I managed the farm. He'd go out on runs. It was more frustrating. It's like doing double duty. It's double
the issues.
Yeah, double the issues. You're trying to run this and this, and we got in the truck, got a routine going, and because before I'd only ride when we'd haul grain. It was just always better in the truck. You could I want to say keep control of everything, but you knew where he was and what he needed and what they needed, and you didn't feel pulled. Like he said, we tried getting out of it. Getting back in the truck was just like they say, you'd never forget how to ride a bike.
This one, Leroy, when we do go home, if we are home at my father's or, visiting with her parents, I'd say give it 2 days. And he's already chomping at the bit saying, Dad, can we go? Do you got a load yet? Are you looking at the load board? And he's ready to go back to trucking. He's been home too long. He loves it. He's hands-on with the mechanic work. When he was 3 years old, me and my father were changing out axle seal covers. And as a baby, he wanted to help. And we have him on video tightening down the axle nuts. And he was actually crying because we told him no. So he's a very hands-on mechanical kid.
Well, we got a lot covered here. What do you guys think about getting out there on 75 and so we can get a look at this beauty going down the road?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
You guys
You guys
excited?
wanna go for a ride?
Yeah, let's go get videoed, man.
Are you loaded or empty?
We are empty.
All right. Well, we're gonna roll with the flow of traffic. That way we don't get hung up with anybody. So 65, 70, somewhere in there. Preferably 70 will allow us to flow pretty good.
10-4. How fast can I go?
Get them triple digits there, driver. All right there, Mike. We're out here on the southbound 75. Why don't you go ahead and give us a rundown on what you're working there?
It's a 2000 W900L. It's got a 99 N14 Cummins Redhead Edition, 18 speed, 355 rear ends.
Got any other goodies you're working with there?
We've had the ECM tuned on it. So far, that's about it. Exhaust manifold and turbo are kind of next on the list. Try to get a little bit of better fuel mileage out of her.
Go ahead and flip those switches. If you got some chicken lights there, we'd love to see them.
10-4.
How many lights do you think you're running there?
Right at now, about 100. That's it.
Tell me about the custom parts like bumps and stacks and visors and things like that you might have.
We just got the custom air cleaner lights on it for now. Stacks are on order. Talladega is going to be doing the fenders in March with T-bars. They got a lot of custom interior for parts. Dashes all custom. Redid the interior ourselves. Repainted the headliner to match the exterior of the truck. As we were waiting for authority, I had nothing else to do, so I got bored and found the air can. But we got LEDs throughout the sleeper, under the couch, and under the dash. And slowly but surely we're adding more. It's a work in progress.
I'll tell you what, it looks great. Now, I'm gonna have to say, I saw your tires earlier. The letters on the tires are all lettered up and painted. Who's responsible for that?
That would be my wife. She has the patience and the steady hand for that. My aunt really got her started on that. It's kind of one of those family tradition things. So she's followed in that footstep and kept it going.
Yeah, it really is a nice touch.
She does great with the details.
So when it comes to the truck itself, how many miles do you have on it, and how long have you owned it for?
This particular truck here has real close to 1 million on it. She's getting ready if we can make her through this year. Wintertime, we're going to hopefully do an in-frame on it and go through it. And this one, we just got this truck in October of last year.
The way that you guys have kept it up, and the way that it looks now, it would look like you've had it for years.
When we started this business, we had a couple months to wait for new authority and numbers to go through. So we had we had downtime to get it right before it hit the road.
Well, you definitely got it right.
I sure appreciate it. The other thing that we're dabbling is we're trying to get all of our lights over truck and trailer to the dual revolutions. And some of them are not always available, so we pretty much got the truck all done. We're just trying to get the trailer next.
Do you have any regrets? Any regrets on what you've set up so far, equipment-wise? You know, like for instance, if you had a chance to make another decision and do it all over again, as far as equipment is concerned, you know, what would that be, if any?
Honestly, I don't think I've got any regrets in that aspect. I've had a lot of good mentors in my life, and I've learned a lot, and it's helped me make wise decisions. And honestly, I don't have any.
That's great to hear. So now, when it comes to you know, what you're proud of, again, we talked on camera, and having your family there with you, you know, that's amazing in itself. But what are you proud of?
I'm proud to just be able to be out here, have a very nice truck, very well maintained, and the ability to just come out here and do what some dream of doing. I'm proud to be able to help people, and if I have the chance to be a mentor to someone else as they were to us, I really am proud to have that availability to do so.
Another gentleman said in a video, I think a couple of weeks ago, that wouldn't it be great if we're able to have mentors, like older gentlemen, you know, guys that are retired, to be able to be out here on the road and be hands-on with some of the younger generation of truck drivers. But, you know, like what you mentioned, being able to share that information, you know, that is invaluable.
I believe it would be. If it weren't for people, you know, even of my previous generations of family, and, you know, my father, my uncle, my grandfather, and that, they paved the way for us to be here. It would be nice that they can get some recognition as well.
Yes, definitely.
But you're right. To be able to be a mentor to some of these younger generations, there is a lot of knowledge that's been lost. A lot of things that isn't taught no more, and in fact, a lot of it is unsafe teaching. That you know, it may be good in a school, but when you get out here in the real world on the road, that's not how it works.
Yeah, I definitely agree. You guys shared how you guys get to go and do some things with the kids and travel and visit and see points of interest. But what's been the best time in trucking so far for you guys?
You know, I can't really say that there is one specific great time. They're all pretty much great. You know, life's short. We try to enjoy every moment we can. I know loads, they get stressful and all that, but pretty much we make the best of every day and in every situation possible. I try not to get worked up over things that I can't control anymore, but thank God for her for that. But every day is a blessing to be out here. You know, like my truck says, running on God's grace.
Now, speaking of what's on your truck, there's something else that's on your truck that has some meaning to it, you know, regarding loads. Tell me about that.
Yeah, the in memory of, it's in memory of my grandfather. He was a great man. He did all he could for his family. Ran trucking and corn shelling, and just a small fleet, had 3 to 5 trucks, and he did all he could do. And there one day had a heart attack there at the kitchen table, and he was figuring grain tickets, and he just said if we could have had just one more load. And later on, he passed away. And it's just been a family thing that we're still chasing that one more load. And you never give up. You keep running. That one more load might not never come, but you never give up.
You know, that's a pretty powerful statement. You know, we're always trying to do something out here and get the next thing set up, and we just never know what's going to happen or how it's going to go. But that's a fine testament to your grandfather and the rest of the family there.
I sure appreciate it. There's some big shoes to fill, honestly. I'm only 46, but I still feel I got a long way to go.
Yes, sir. We were talking right after the interview there at the 75 Chrome Shop, and you're mentioning about driving, length of time for driving, and might as well hand the mic over to Kate. Kate, do you mind recalling what we were talking about with not trying to avoid driving lengths of times and things that were recommended to folks that would keep them from driving such long periods of time?
Well, I mean, in our case, having the kids along, we get frequent restroom breaks, and I know a lot of drivers driving solo don't do that. Another guy I talked to, his doctor actually said get a dog, because the dog would make him have to get out and walk. I know if I wasn't here, Mike sure as heck wouldn't be stopping as frequently as he does.
So that works out really well for you all, and probably works out for you all as a unit. Well, you can explain that, how it works for as a unit, the four of you there.
We have a joke that, like, when you stop to get fuel, it's the fuel island dash. You've got to get the fuel, get pulled forward, and get in and out of the bathroom as fast as you can, because you don't want to hold up other drivers.
And that's great. You guys don't fall into that category of, taking showers at the fuel island, or having dinner at the fuel island.
It's actually kind of funny to watch us in there, because we've got kind of the routine down. Rush into the bathroom, grab your sodas, grab your food, and get out as fast as you can. We used to actually, the kids would laugh because we'd almost time how fast we could get in and out.
Well, that's pretty cool. So this question that I'm going to ask you, it's not really, it could be trucking related, maybe not, but what's your claim to fame? What do people know you for? It could be something from, back in the day. It could be something current. But what's your claim to fame?
A lot of it, honestly, is how I keep my trucks. That's pretty much it. That, and I'm never really late.
Can we hand the mic over to Kate so we can validate that statement? Is that true, Kate?
Yeah, it's true. It's kind of funny, because we can be in a whole different truck, and somebody who met us 3-4 years ago will sit there and see the tires lettered and just little niches that's just him. Even on his personal truck, just him.
That's pretty awesome. Good looking truck going there northbound there.
Yeah, that was pretty sharp.
We gotta get them squirrel moments in while we can. So, trucking-wise, when you mention loads and things like that, maybe Kate can answer this because she, runs a certain part of the business for you and is integral in part of the business. But, how do you guys find your loads? How do you manage loads? Kind of walk us through the process, because you guys are teammates there. So, give us an idea of how you guys function.
Well, you always find one of us with our head on the steering wheel or nose in the phone about 5:30 in the morning looking for the next load or future loads. But we've got load boards. We've got some regular customers that we had met 10, 15 years ago that now that we're hauling reefer, we just touch base with again. But generally, load board is where we find most of them. And like I said, it'll be 5:30 in the morning, and most of our friends laugh because they can always tell when we're on the load board because our faces are in the phones, and normally they're not.
That's pretty funny. So, Mike, when it comes to trucking, if any, what important lessons have you learned out here so far?
Well, you never really stop learning, I always say. The day I quit learning is the day I'll hang up my keys. But one important lesson is you never tailgate, never run the center lane and do under the speed limit, and just always be respectful.
Now, I'm going to ask you to break that down, that one thing about running the center lane. Why in the world would someone want to run the center lane under the speed limit? Break that down for us.
All these new schools and stuff, they're teaching these new drivers to run the center lane because that's the path of least resistance. If you're in the right lane, then you got traffic coming on and off, and it causes you to slow down. And if you're in the left lane, they teach them that, people are going faster. So I actually tell them that you need to run the center lane because that's the path of least resistance. There's less danger there. And, their trucks are governed at 65, 68 mile an hour.
And what's the residual impact on that?
Well, normally it's not good. They don't seem to think they're doing anything wrong is the bad thing.
Yeah, I hear you. I have to agree on that. We see it all the time.
It's a daily fight. Y'all need to have a powwow and talk these things out.
What's that, driver?
I was saying we all need to get together, every trucker, and talk these things out.
You got it right. And that could easily be solved if everybody had their CB radio on, or the majority of everyone had a radio on. That way we can communicate and keep things flowing out here.
Yeah, it would be a blessing. Unfortunately, a lot of which don't make no sense to us old school drivers, a lot of companies, and the bigger ones, say that a CB is a distraction to a driver, so they do not allow them. And yet we can't figure out why all the Qualcomms and GPSs and cell phones in your window taking up your view isn't a distraction.
You make a good point there. So far since you and Kate have been out here trucking, have you had the opportunity to do anything charitable with the company, with your company or your truck?
Not as of yet. I don't know whether that's a good thing or not. I thank God there hasn't been national disasters like that, but we always are looking for the opportunity to help out and benefit others in a time of need. That's ultimately what we're out here for. That's what we were raised to do. That's the way it was back in the old days. And I feel it still needs to be that way. There needs to be more unity out here than division.
Yes, sir, I agree.
Want me to bump it up a little?
No, we're doing good right there. Although that driver did, if he's got his radio on, does seem like he came in just kind of nestled in right next to you.
Yes, he did.
He wants a little camera time.
10-4, claim to fame.
One thing I like to ask guys when I have the opportunity is, what advice would you give to someone that's starting out that wants to run a reefer or get in the truck, from your experience, what can you say?
It's a tough fight. It's hard, and it gets discouraging, but it will happen. You surround yourself with knowledgeable people. Listen. Always take advice. Check your advice, and never give up. You strive. Faith without works is dead. You always got to put in the footsteps. But if it's your dream, you chase it. You don't ever give up. You keep on thriving ahead, and things will happen in order.
That's great advice. And hearing through the CB radio there, I thought I heard a cat. I forgot to ask about the other riders that you got there. So if Kate's available, maybe she can answer who else you guys have there in the cab with you.
Well, we got our two sons, Leroy and Diesel, who at this time of night are kind of crabby and arguing. And then we've got our two cats with us. Didn't make sense to leave them at home and have somebody try and take care of them. One of the cats has been raised in the truck.
What's cat management like in a truck?
A lot of people ask about like the litter box and whatnot. I'm scooping that litter box 3, 4, 5 times a day just to keep the smell and keep it clean. We're very picky about that, but not a lot of management. I mean, it's just a lot of having them when they were kittens, teaching them you don't jump here, you don't climb there, and Lord knows you don't claw anything. Surprising enough, there's a lot of drivers out there that actually do have cats with them.
That is true. I have seen images, pictures, and videos of trucker cats and everything.
I'm just happy to say ours is no better than to jump up on the dash when the truck's rolling. I've seen them do that.
That's awesome. So earlier, I think you mentioned that you have some color-changing dual revolution lights?
Yes, sir.
Let's have a look at them there.
M4.
Very nice.
Go all the way back to the tail lights.
I tell you, Mike, you don't have any problem stepping around in that truck there. How much horsepower do you think you're pushing?
Right now we're at 5 1/4.
A very respectable number. Sounds great too.
Thank you. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to doing exhaust manifold, turbo, T&L up there in Ocala. Kind of got me talked into doing 30 over injectors, so I think we might be dabbling in that midsummer.
Yes, sir. And I can't help but ask, while I'm right here next to you, you might as well go ahead and rip them Jakes once.
Love my Jakes.
Yes, sir. Well, I guess we better line it up and get it back on over there to the chrome shop.
M4.
That there, sir, is the sound of our people.
That's right.
As we slide back here and get parked again, it was a pleasure, getting to know you and your family today. And I'm sure I'll see you guys many more times here.
I really appreciate it. It was an honor to meet you, a blessing to do this. I hope eventually it can be an inspiration for someone else or something my kids can look forward to and family.
Absolutely.
Hey, whatever happened to that kid that was running around in that Black Peterbilt that said high strung on it? Anybody know whatever happened to that kid?